over here today at the wood yard at the homestead. So gonna work on getting some more split up. Have lots of the walnut left. Probably work on that next. Have a basket here somewhere that I'll start filling that up with. So first thing though is to kind of get a little bit cleaned up. So here's kind of my scrap pile of wood that's either been infested with ants or bugs, or is super mealy, and also all my bark scraps go that direction. So I'll probably go ahead and get it cleaned up. Kind of got a mess going. Have a pretty good pile over on that side of the splitter too. I'll probably get the rake out and just get it all raked over. And then I'll probably take the small tractor, the grater box, and for some of this stuff here, looks like I may be able to sneak behind it and push a large bit of it over. And right now we have, so this whole area here didn't really exist to the same extent that it does now. It's all been filled over time, so kind of keep pushing that out. So as we do dirt projects, we kind of cap it with dirt, but underneath, you know, there's wood and things like that, stuff that will eventually break down. So obviously never want to build anything back here, but for having room to work, it's nice kind of expanding this. So I'll probably just take that and push it back and kind of expand this area and get cleaned up before I start going again. Kind of a good spot to where I can do that and then get working on this walnut. And I have some more walnuts back here. I'll probably go ahead and cut up, see how far this stuff goes in a tote. And obviously you can see fair size sycamore there along with some other pieces. So I will work on getting it split up, and since I have enough of it, I'll probably put it in its own tote as well. Kind of separate stuff out just to be able to have specific totes. So do a little bit of cleanup and then I will get to splitting again. Do some splitting again for a period of time. And now we have the sawmill kind of coming. We have, so sawmill and everything is going to go right over there. That's where we started working on the block wall. We have the logs, everything just stacked up on the other side of the trailer. I may work on putting the grapple on the tractor once I get all this kind of cleaned up, and come back here and get these cherry logs that we just kind of stored back here. So we stored these 3 cherries, not really having another place to put them, but we stored them back here thinking that we could eventually play with those on the sawmill. This big one, or this long one, we'll probably cut in half and try to do, you know, maybe use it as kind of a starter piece just to practice running something through the mill that's not terribly large, and it's got some knots and stuff in it, so it's not going to be of great quality before we get some of these nicer cherries and then obviously the walnut we have over there.
So high I'm hypnotized. What's up is down, what's left is right. Chasing stars and holding you. I can't see the end, but we'll see it through.
Going to add a quick tidbit of info. People who have backhoes in the back of their machine, so as much as it's good at digging and stuff like that, it's also a excellent counterbalance to your tractor. So yeah, it lets you pick up big loads, but it's an adjustable counterbalance. So here I have fair sized logs on the front that I'm picking up, and I'm on a little bit of a tilt. So it's making the bottom side obviously heavy on the tractor. What you can do is take that hoe, swing it up the hill, and most of the time that's enough, but you can even extend it a little bit, and that'll help counterbalance the machine so that it will want to kind of, not want to feel like it's going to tip. So, that's one advantage that most people who have backhoes think about, but if you have one and haven't really thought about it, it's excellent for that, and it also makes excellent four-wheel steering. If you get yourself in a predicament at the property I did this past weekend, where the back end, you kind of get in a spot where, driving forward may not be an option, or, going back you're going to sink even more, you can use that hoe to pick the butt end of the machine up and move it over to kind of get back on solid ground or something like that. So while the hoe is excellent for digging ditches and digging out trees, it's also a multi-purpose tool for doing things like counterbalance, and also that four-wheel steering that I mentioned, where you can move the back of the machine by using the backhoe to pick it up if the backhoe is strong enough. So just kind of a tidbit of info as I'm kind of doing stuff. You may see me look back. What I'm doing is adjusting that hoe so that I swing it off to the side to help my counterbalance, so that I have better stability on some of the hills, because nothing here is really flat.
Dangerous times, don't fly too high. Be sure to keep the ground in sight. Fly forever if you keep it tight. Love the world, but keep the sky on your mind.
Look at getting this all cleaned up, so got everything swept back that direction. Just got it cleaned up so that I can get a tote back in here, be able to load into a tote, and then just don't have that mess right here. So it had just been a while since I had gotten everything swept away, so it was a good opportunity to do that. Got up, cleaned up around the splitter here, and then the 3 logs that were up here, got those moved away. They weren't necessarily hurting anything back here, but they weren't in a practical spot to be able to do anything with them, so I got to move to the rest of the logs. So we'll go take a look at that. Logs moved over here to kind of the makeshift log yard we got going. So if there's any doubt that we are excited and trying to get prepared for that sawmill coming, this is just what we have at the homestead now. So some of this is from the homestead, the walnut tree stuff that we've taken down here to be able to build this pad, and then a handful of these are from the 100 acres, and we're just working on getting stuff right here. So there's still another, probably 6 at the 100 acres that need to be brought over here to where the sawmill's going to be to begin with. But let me do a quick count and see how many we have now. I have 26 logs that are ready to go on the sawmill. So these cherry logs have been down for a little while. It was a tree that actually fell right here. So it blew down in a storm, the bottom of it rotted out, but the top part still had some viable logs, so we saved those. And then I had some red oak logs from the picnic area. This poplar was right here behind me, it was right up there. And then the walnuts were at the edge of the building right there. So it's mostly what this is here. Couple other little things sprinkled in there, and like some of this stuff may not get, like this one's pretty small, kind of got a crook to it, but we figured to begin with we're going to want small things just to practice running the saw through, and not start with some of these real big dudes, mainly just because I think they're going to be harder to handle, and you just have more to kind of work with. And I'm sure there's kind of a medium size where some stuff's going to be too small because you're going to have to worry about getting it clamped on well, versus some of the stuff that's really big. So we may start with something, you know, kind of like that one there, to kind of run through and just get a feel for how the saw works. I'll work on splitting a little bit of that firewood and working on that next. Have the K&A grapple on the 62, so I'll probably hold off moving that basket for right now. I'll probably go ahead and work on getting more of this stuff cut into rounds so that it's ready to split, and get it kind of just stacked over there so that it's in a good area. Check in with you guys, kind of show you what I got done and with my day off. So one project I didn't end up recording any of, I wasn't sure how it was going to go, but have been kind of wanting to do it for a little bit, is this black piece here is the backboard that we put on the Otter to stop the dirt and stuff from falling kind of back in between the cab, we'll say, and the dump bed, so down under the engine bay. So it was just painted black, kind of a semi-gloss, and with the rocks and dirt in there, it was just kind of getting scuffed up. So what I did was we had some Herculiner, like touch-up paint, like you use for like roll-on truck beds. We had some of that. We did the top of the Otter roof with that. Similar kind of thing, it was getting scuffed up by limbs and stuff as we passed over. So we did that, it worked out fairly well. So I went ahead and did this backboard, so it gives it this grip, but it also should be much more durable from rocks and stuff hitting it, and should keep it in a little bit better condition. So went ahead and did this since it was, you know, about 75 out today. It could flash off and start to dry, so So I got this done. It still needs to sit for a little while longer before I can put it back on, but it's dry. It just needs to kind of finish setting up all the way. So I got this done. So it was one thing that I wanted to accomplish while it was still nice out, because this stuff needs to be done in a well ventilated area, and show you some of the firewood that I got split. Okay, down here in the wood yard, you can see I got most of that walnut split up. The walnut that was sitting here, I got it cut in the rounds and have most of it split up, but I've run out of room in this tote. So a tote holds about a rick. In Indiana, it's the most common term, but face cord is kind of the same kind of dimension. So have a full rick here of walnut. I'll kind of show you, see if I can get the shadow here and show you. I don't know how well this will show up on camera, but this is stuff that I just cut out of a log and just split. And this stuff here is stuff that I split this morning and had been in rounds for a little while. So it had a little bit more time to dry. As far as, in a round and not in a log. But this was just split this morning, and this was split just minutes ago. So it's amazing how quickly the surface moisture starts to leave. So obviously the center of this is still going to be pretty high moisture, but it's amazing how in just a few hours how it does start to dry. And we've had on and off sun today, and but it's been very breezy, so we have a constant breeze that's been going through this pile. So hopefully this stuff will continue to dry quickly, and cut it fairly big, so it may take 2 years to dry. I'll have to just kind of keep an eye. We don't do a lot of walnut trees, so I don't know how long it takes to dry, but I'll put the moisture meter on it after a year or so and see where it's at and if it's ready to burn. Joining me on my day off and seeing kind of what we got done. It was kind of hodgepodge, a little bit of splitting, getting the firewood caught up a little bit, did some breaks for mowing and kind of getting other little various things done throughout the day that kind of came up. So hit that subscribe button, give it a thumbs up, and we'll catch you next time on the Schmitter's 100 Acre Woods.